Alright guys, time to show you some more CDs. It's been a while since I've recorded one of these, but we'll go ahead and get into it. So, first off, we have Dead Kennedys' Fresh Fruit for Rotting Vegetables. One of the greatest punk albums ever. So, here's the inside of it. Here's the back. Then we have sort of like a poster here, which I bought this used. The previous guy apparently had it taped up, so it's got some ugly marks on it. Not too happy about that. And we have a two-panel booklet here. Yeah, their guitarist, East Bay Ray, is probably my favorite guitarist within the punk genre. Alright, next up, this is a album that I only have the disc for. I don't have the full packaging for it, but we have Death From Above's You're a Woman, I'm a Machine. This is their debut album. It's a bit unpolished, I would say, but it's still pretty solid. Definitely a great debut. For a while, it was their only album. I think they went like 15 years or something crazy like that without releasing a new album. And then they finally came back. But if that was their only album, I would say they had a pretty good career. But next we have Outrageous Now. This is their third album, and it's about my second favorite of theirs overall. Their last two albums have actually been just really killer. I'd say, even though I just said if that was their only album, they would have, had a strong career for one album. I really think that they are currently in their prime. There's a book, or rather it's just 3 panels, but the little paper insert, whatever you call it. Yeah, if you're not familiar with Death From Above, it's kind of like a two-piece. I've heard it described as dance punk, but it's vocals, drum, bass, and some auxiliary synthesizers. Very noisy, distorted bass. Next we have Music for the Masses from Depeche Mode. This is my favorite Depeche Mode album. My dad listened to it a lot when I was young, and it kind of caught on to me. This is a version that has a bunch of bonus tracks at the end, and they're some pretty strong bonus tracks. I definitely think it's worth sticking around for. Show you the book. It's all the lyrics. And here we have a more recent acquisition of mine, Depeche Mode's Violator. I think this might be a little bit more of a fan favorite album. I know this album is pretty popular too, and it's my personal favorite, but I know a lot of people like Violator. It has songs like Personal Jesus and Enjoy the Silence and Policy of Truth. Personally, I tend to like Depeche Mode's more darker stuff, and I think that's what most people actually prefer. Because they've done a pretty good amount of, more lighter, I'd say poppier stuff. But I like their more scarier stuff. Yeah, this case is a little bit loose, so got messed up a little bit as I close it, but it's all right now. All right, now we're getting into my Dillinger Escape Plan albums. Got 3, should probably get a couple more. But we have their EP, Irony is a Dead Scene. So, funny thing, after their first album, they lost their lead vocalist, and just kind of in that period before they could get a new vocalist, they decided to collaborate with Mike Patton. This is actually the only Mike Patton release that I have. I've been meaning to get more of his stuff. I do enjoy his stuff. But, yeah, they collaborated with Mike Patton, who does a lot of weird vocals. So, yeah, it's 4 songs. One of them's a Aphex Twin cover. There's some really solid stuff. One of their best releases, honestly. Let's see. Yeah, just a little 2-panel insert there. Next, we have probably their most popular album, Miss Machine. Has songs like Panasonic Youth, see, Setting Fire to Sleeping Giants, Unretrofied. So yeah, they're kind of a mathcore, metalcore. I don't listen to a whole lot of this type of music, but they're pretty good. Yeah, I discovered them. There was a 9 Inch Nails live video that they play the song Wish with the full Dillinger Escape Plan. Both full bands, all on one stage, playing the same song. And it was pretty crazy, wild performance. I mean, it didn't really get much light into Dillinger Escape Plan, but I saw their energy. I was impressed. I checked them out. I was kind of surprised that they were the type of band that 9 Inch Nails would associate themselves with, but I started to realize they're pretty fucking solid. This is Ironworks. It's a little bit more electronic heavy. There's another banged up case, as you can see. Kind of like how it looks like, you know, a lot of kind of generic stuff, like, you know, it says Ironworks Archival Data Disc. Funny things like that. It has a data sheet with the lyrics that you should remove immediately, it says. Yeah, my phone's dying, so let me get that little message out of the way real quick. Should be able to finish this with the phone still being alive. And here's the artwork. Next up, probably the last I'll do for this, but we have from Discover America, what is this called? Psychology. This album's not that great. I mean, it's got a decent number of really good songs. I've been really digging It Has to Make Us Whole lately. That song's pretty good. I mean, it's not terrible, but I'd say by Chris Staples, because this is Chris Staples before he started just going by his name. By his standards, I'd say this is a pretty weak album, really. But, yeah, Chris Staples, formerly of 238, this is kind of quirky. It has an immature quality to it, I'd say. Like, I kind of feel like this album's geared towards, like, middle schoolers in 2008, you know, or whenever this was released, 2005. I feel like it's kind of geared towards middle schoolers, if I can be honest. I mean, it deals with a decent number of, you know, somewhat mature themes, but I don't know, it just has this kind of quirky, buzzy feel to that. I feel like it's kind of, you know, I feel like it just appeals more to younger kids from that era more than anything. But yeah, that's the CDs I'm going to show you today. So I will see you in my next CD collection video.